Jane Toppan, born Honora Kelly on September 3, 1854, was a suspected American serial killer and one of the first female American serial killers. Toppan became a nurse, and in 1885, she began working in the United States Military Hospital in Chelsea, Massachusetts, where she was involved in the experimental use of drugs on mental patients, as well as inhumane human trials. Toppan is believed to have been directly responsible for the deaths of 31 patients in her care, although many believe the death toll to be much higher. Toppan was a tortured soul, and even as a young woman she displayed a sinister side, which manifested itself in her cruel treatment of animals and disregard for life. It is believed Toppan eventually became insane and determined to satisfy her lust for murder. Her techniques as a serial killer included overdosing patients with morphine and other drugs, smothering her victims by lying atop them, and using her own blood to transmit infections among her victims. Her signature seemed to be to combine sedatives with large doses of morphine, which would cause respiratory arrest and sudden death. She took great pleasure in the deaths of her victims, reportedly telling one of them, "I hope you'll die. I have always wanted to have someone die in my arms." Toppan also claimed she selected her victims for her experiments based upon the pleasure their eventual deaths brought her. Toppan was eventually caught after experiencing a psychotic episode during which she murdered her 2 roommates. After being arrested, Toppan told police of her killing missions and made a full confession of her horrific crimes. She was found guilty of murder and declared insane on October 28, 1902, but not before a lengthy trial detailed her heinous acts and horrifying history. Toppan's own sanity and deceptive tactics ultimately led to her being declared criminally insane, and she was committed to Taunton State Hospital for the rest of her life. Jane Toppan managed to avoid being held accountable for the full extent of her crimes, but her legacy as one of America's first known female serial killers has become part of criminal history. Her deeds cast a dark and tragic shadow over the world of nursing and left an indelible mark on the minds of those who encountered her twisted genius.